The rain had been falling since morning, turning the narrow street into a silver mirror of broken dreams. Inside a small, old apartment building, the elevator had been broken for years. Only stairs remained, long, cold, unforgiving. A mechanic named Ethan Cole climbed those stairs slowly, carrying his heavy toolbox on one shoulder. His uniform was stained with oil, his hands rough, his eyes tired. Life had never been kind to him, yet he never complained. On the fourth-floor landing, he heard a soft voice. "Sir." He stopped. He turned. A little girl sat on the stairs. She couldn't have been more than 8 years old. Her hair was thin, her face pale, her body weak. A hospital bracelet still hung loosely around her small wrist. She tried to stand but failed. Ethan rushed toward her. "Hey, are you okay?" She looked up at him with eyes too old for her age. "My legs, they hurt," she whispered. Ethan knelt in front of her. "Where are you going?" "Home," she said. "But the stairs are too much today." He gently asked, "Where is your home?" "7th floor," she replied with a tiny, embarrassed smile. Ethan looked up at the long staircase. Then back at her fragile body. Without thinking, he said, "I'll carry you." Her eyes widened. "No, I'm heavy." He smiled softly. "I lift engines all day. You're lighter than my toolbox." She hesitated, then whispered, "If you carry me up the stairs, I'll tell you a secret." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "A secret?" She nodded slowly. "One that nobody knows." He carefully lifted her into his arms. She was lighter than he expected. Too light. As he began climbing, he felt her heartbeat against his chest, fast, weak, scared. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she said. "And yours?" "Ethan." They climbed in silence for a while. On the 5th floor, Ethan felt her grip tighten on his shirt. "Are you okay?" he asked. She nodded, but her eyes were wet. "You don't have to cry," he said gently. "I'm not crying," she whispered. "I'm just tired of being brave." Those words hit Ethan harder than any engine part ever had. They continued climbing. On the 6th floor, she finally spoke again. "My secret is, I'm very sick." Ethan stopped. He looked at her face. She wasn't dramatic. She wasn't asking for pity. She was just honest. "What kind of sick?" he asked softly. She swallowed. "The doctors say my heart is tired." Ethan's chest tightened. She continued. "They say it works, but not for very long." He felt his arms tremble, but he held her tighter. She rested her head against his shoulder. "My mom doesn't know I heard them talking." Ethan felt anger, sadness, helplessness all at once. "Why didn't you tell her?" he asked. "She already cries too much," Lily said. "I don't want to be another reason." They reached the 7th floor. Ethan slowly placed her down near an apartment door with peeling blue paint. Before she could knock, she looked at him. "You kept your promise," she said. "So I must keep mine." He smiled gently. "I'm listening," she whispered. "When I grow up, I want to fix broken things, like you." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. She smiled weakly. "But if I don't grow up, I want someone to remember me as brave." Ethan couldn't speak. She raised her tiny hand and touched his cheek. "You will remember me, right?" He nodded, voice breaking. "I will never forget you." The door opened. A tired woman stood there, her eyes full of fear and love. "Lily," she gasped. "Where were you?" "I met a hero on the stairs," Lily said softly. Ethan quietly turned to leave. But Lily called him. "Ethan." He turned. She smiled. "Thank you for carrying me higher than my body could." He walked away with tears in his eyes, not knowing that this small moment would change both their lives forever. Ethan didn't sleep that night. Lily's face, her fragile smile, her brave words, they stayed with him like a silent echo in his heart. He kept seeing her eyes when she said, "My heart is tired." The next morning, Ethan found himself standing outside the same blue door. He didn't know why he came. He just knew he had to. He knocked gently. After a moment, Lily's mother opened the door. Her eyes were red, tired, yet kind. "Yes, I'm Ethan, the mechanic from yesterday," he said nervously. Her face softened. "Oh, you're the one who carried Lily." She stepped aside. "Please, come in." The apartment was small but clean. Medical papers were on the table. Medicine bottles lined the shelf. A small oxygen machine hummed softly in the corner. Lily lay on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. When she saw Ethan, her face lit up. "My stair hero came back." He smiled and sat beside her. "How are you today?" She shrugged. "My heart is arguing with me again," she joked softly. Her mother looked away, trying not to cry. Ethan stood up. "Ma'am, may I speak to you for a moment?" They went into the kitchen. She doesn't tell me everything, her mother whispered. But I know she is getting weaker. Ethan hesitated. Does she know how serious it is? Her mother nodded slowly. She knows too much for her age. Silence filled the room. Ethan felt something inside him change. He had no money, no power, no big life, but he had time, and sometimes, time is the greatest gift. From that day, Ethan began visiting Lily after work. He fixed her broken toys. He told her stories. He carried her to the window so she could see the sunset. One evening, Lily asked him, "Why do you come every day?" He smiled, "Because you remind me how strong small hearts can be." She laughed, then coughed. Her body shook. Ethan held her hand. "Don't go," she whispered. "I'm here," he said. But both of them knew, he couldn't stop time. Weeks passed. Lily stopped going to school. Her heartbeat became slower, weaker. One night, she asked Ethan to carry her again. "Where?" he asked. "To the roof," she whispered. "I want to see the stars once." Ethan carried her up slowly. The cold wind touched her face. She smiled as she looked at the sky. "They look like broken lights," she said. "But they still shine." She turned to Ethan. "Do you know my second secret?" He shook his head. "I'm not scared to die." His heart broke. "I'm scared to be forgotten." He held her tighter. "You won't be forgotten," he promised. She reached into her pocket and gave him a small folded paper. "Open it when I'm not here." He wanted to refuse, but he took it. She rested her head on his chest. "Thank you for making my short life feel big." That night, Lily didn't wake up. The hospital room was silent. Her mother cried quietly. Ethan stood frozen. He had fixed hundreds of engines. But he couldn't fix one small heart. At the funeral, only a few people came. But Ethan stayed till the end. He placed a small toy wrench on her grave. "For the future mechanic," he whispered. That evening, he opened the folded paper. Inside it was written, "Dear Ethan, if you are reading this, I am not brave anymore. But you made me brave. Please help other broken hearts like you helped mine. And remember me when you climb stairs. Because you carried me higher than life ever could." Ethan fell to his knees. And cried like he never had before. But that pain was about to become purpose. Days passed, but Ethan still walked the stairs slowly, as if Lily might be sitting there again, waiting. Every step reminded him of her small weight in his arms, and the heavy promise in his heart. He kept Lily's letter in his wallet. Every morning, he read it before going to work. Help other broken hearts. Those words became his direction. One evening, Ethan noticed an old man struggling on the stairs with a grocery bag. Normally, he would have walked past. But not anymore. He helped him. Then another child. Then a pregnant woman. Then a disabled boy. Slowly, the stairs became a place of kindness. People began to recognize him. They called him the stair mechanic. But Ethan didn't help for praise. He helped for Lily. Months later, a small charity group noticed him. They asked, "Why do you do this?" He showed them Lily's letter. They shared her story online. The video went viral. People from different cities started helping strangers on stairs. Buildings installed elevators. Hospitals created Lily's Promise programs for terminal children. One small heart had changed thousands. One day, Ethan was invited to a hospital. A little girl sat in a wheelchair. She looked at him and smiled. "My name is Lily too," she said. Ethan felt tears in his eyes. "I heard your story," she said. "You carried another Lily. Now you carry all of us." He knelt in front of her. "And you carry my heart," he replied. Years later, Ethan opened his own small center. He didn't fix engines anymore. He fixed hope. On the wall, there was a picture of a little girl on stairs. Under it was written, "She asked me to carry her up the stairs. But she carried me into a better life." Every year on Lily's birthday, Ethan climbed the stairs alone, slowly, silently. At the top, he whispered, "You are not forgotten." And somewhere, a tired heart smiled.